Hi everyone. In today's 3D website building tutorial, we're going to create a lens of truth, a tool to see through other assets. First, we'll pick a nice template to start out with. Also, if you want to see this tutorial done on PC, check out the link for that in the description below. Before we create the tool, let's set up our scene. And I'm thinking something along the lines of a display panel with a secret message hidden behind some art. We can start with a box. And let's clean up the rotation just so it's facing directly towards us. Now we'll set the width and height. I'm going to go with 2¼ meters, but you can use whatever you like. And I know we're a little blind now, but before we move this, let's just add a standard material and then set it to white. Let's also quickly rename our box to display panel. Typing in VR is a little slow, so I'll quickly fast forward through this. Alright, let's go to our hand tools and pick out translate. That way we can just grab this and move it forward. And let's try and get it centered between these two posts. Let's take a look. Okay, maybe let me slide it a tiny bit more this way. Maybe a tiny bit more. Alright, looks good. Now let's add our secret message. We'll just go and create a new text. And you can leave whatever message you want. I'm going to write, Digital Bacon makes it easy to build 3D websites. Next, we can set the max width for this to be a little bit less than the width of our panel. And I think center text will look good. Now let's go back to our hand tools and pick out place. And we can just place it right on our panel. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's update the color of our text so that we can see it on the panel. So let's go find our text. And let's use a nice pink like a pig. Great. Now we can go place it on the panel. To place it, just use the place tool, grab it, point, and use the trigger. Let's make the text a little bigger. That looks much nicer. Now we can put our art piece on top. So you can use whatever image you have. You can search on Google. I've already downloaded this one image from a Google search and uploading it. Great. Now we can use our place tool again and just put it right over the text. Now before we scale it and move it, let's disable visual editing on the text so we don't accidentally grab that. And we should do the same thing for our display panel. Now let's go get the scale tool and make this much bigger. That looks good. Let's grab the translate tool now, and we'll just bring this down a little bit. Alright, I think this looks good. Let's just disable visual editing now. And then our scene is all set up. On to the fun part, creating our lens of truth to uncover our secret message. First up, we'll create the lens, so add a circle. And then I always recommend renaming your assets as you add them. Now let's disable visual editing and let's add our frame. We'll use a torus for this, and make sure you don't move the menu when you add it. That ensures that the torus is centered perfectly over the circle. Now let's attach a new standard material to our frame and we'll make it black. And we definitely need to make this thinner. So we'll just reduce the tube radius. Oh, disable visual editing. And now let's make our handle. We'll use a cylinder. And I'll just rename this quickly. We'll make the top the same width as we made the width of our frame. And then for aesthetics, I'm going to make the bottom just a tiny bit thicker. And we can use the same material we just used for the frame. And I should probably rename that. Great. We'll leave visual editing on for this because we're going to slide it down into position. So let's grab our translate tool and we'll just grab the handle and try and get it lined up. There we go. I think that looks good. To make sure everything sticks together nicely, we'll make the handle the parent of both the lens and the frame. This way, if the handle moves, so do they. Great, we should probably not leave the lens green, so let's add a basic material, and we will make it double-sided, transparent, and we'll make it have 0 opacity, so we can see right through it. Now to make it be able to see through the image, let me show you a field hidden at the end of the lens called render order. We're going to leave this as 0, and we're going to set our image's render order to 1. By doing this, the renderer first renders all of the assets except the image, then it tries to render the image. But it sees that the lens is already rendered and in front of the image, so it skips rendering that section. If you're confused on why this makes our tool see through the image, there's an article that goes into more depth about this that I'll link in the description. We'll just leave this somewhere where it's easy for the user to see it when they load our website. But we're not fully done yet. Right now we're in the editor, but once the project's live, the user will need a way to pick up our tool. So to do this, we're going to go ahead to the plugins section of Digital Bacon and see what we can find. So let's just head to digitalbacon.io, scroll down, and we should see plugins here. And we have a component and system that will enable assets to be picked up by the user, so let's just download those. And we'll head back to our editor, and then we can just upload them. If you're using a MetaQuest, you'll probably have to change what media is visible in your files. Great, we have our system. Now let's go add the component. It would be great if it remembered that we want to look at all files. Oh well. Now that we have those added to our project, let's head to our handle and we are going to attach the grabbable component to it. Alright, now we can go and check it out in the live preview. Alright, looks like we're here and our tool is working. We can see our hidden message that Digital Bacon makes it easy to build 3D websites. And that was pretty good for a little under 10 minutes. Once you're done testing out your app, you can close out of the preview and open up your editor and make sure you save whatever you worked on. You can save it either locally or on Google Drive. And while you can host it online yourself, this button will take you to My Digital Bacon, a hosting platform that offers a free tier and makes it super easy to publish your website online. Even if you host it elsewhere, you can still use their servers to enable multi-user sessions. I'll leave a link in the description to sign up that'll give you a $10 credit. Thanks, and have a great time building 3D websites with Digital Bacon.